I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Tuesday, May 12th. Today, battling a series of blazes.
When these houses sit, they're a temptation to the arsonist.
How many fires ripped through vacant properties last night in Winnipeg and the impact it's having on emergency resources. Also today.
They're not in your way, they're at work.
Safer roads, a new reminder to be careful on the roads as construction season gets underway. Plus,
I want people to move in there, and this is their home for the next 10 years.
making more affordable housing, how a new plan before City Hall could help reduce costs for new home buyers. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. A rash of overnight fires burned across the city last night, mostly in vacant buildings, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Standing by live with the details is CTV's John Hendricks. John, how many fires were there?
Marilee, firefighters responded to blazes at 5 vacant properties in Winnipeg in a 3-hour time period. Now, the first fire broke out after midnight, and the final call came in before 3:30 in the morning. The blazes happened at St. John's Avenue, Power Street, Boyd Avenue, and Manitoba Avenue. And there were even 2 fires at the same property on Alexander Avenue. Now, all of the fires are under investigation, and no one was hurt. But the events are raising concerns over how incidents like these are straining Winnipeg Fire and Police Service resources. In fact, the president of the William White Neighborhood Association says 3 houses on Power Street, which are all owned by one man, have caught fire 12 times.
When these houses sit, they're a temptation to the arsonist or, to break into these places and set them on fire time and time again. Like I say, they've responded here 12 times to these 3 particular properties. That's ridiculous. I mean, the city cost for the fire department to come here is phenomenal, and it's just unacceptable.
Meantime, Darrell Warren said more needs to be done to address the vacant buildings in William White. He estimates 200, or about 10% of the homes in the neighborhood, are vacant.
So what do authorities say can be done then, John, to prevent these vacant buildings from catching fire?
Well, Marilee, the City of Winnipeg issues a reminder that if you see anyone entering a vacant building or tearing down the boards from windows or doors, to call 911 immediately. And if you spot breached windows or doors but don't see anyone actively trying to enter the vacant property, you can report the incident to 311. Now, CTV's Daniel Halmerson spoke with the Deputy Fire Chief of the Winnipeg Paramedic Service today, and he also spoke with Mayor Scott Gillingham. He will have for us their reactions to the blazes coming up on CTV News at 6.
All right, thanks for this, John. An international fugitive is in custody after being caught during a traffic stop in Winnipeg. Police spotted a truck speeding in the Exchange District last Tuesday afternoon. They stopped it near Higgins Avenue and MacArthur Street after identifying the driver. Police learned the 35-year-old man from Tennessee had outstanding warrants for aggravated statutory rape, soliciting sexual exploitation of a minor, and aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor from the United States. The Canada Border Services Agency, FBI, and police in Tennessee were all notified. The man is being held by border agents until he can be returned to the U.S. Construction season is officially underway, and with that, drivers are being urged to slow down. It's all part of this year's Safe Roads campaign. The purpose is to remind Manitobans to drive safely through construction zones and to give workers the necessary respect they deserve. Last year, according to the Workers' Compensation Board, there were 62 transportation injuries, up from 40 the year prior, making the message all the more important.
We're asking every driver in Manitoba to do a few simple things. Slow down and give workers space to do their job safely. Put the phone away. Move over when you see workers on the shoulder. Follow a flagged person's directions and respect road signs.
To locate where road closures are taking place, you can head to the City of Winnipeg's website. A 53-year-old man is dead following a fatal motorcycle crash. On May 11th around midnight, RCMP received a report a motorcycle had gone into a ditch It happened at the intersection of Highway 276 and Road 141 West, just north of St. Rose-de-Lac. Police believe the man was riding south and went off the road on the wrong side after coming to a curve in the highway. Authorities found the man laying next to his motorcycle in the east ditch and attempted to revive him, but he died at the scene. A former director at the Canadian Centre for Child Protection is taking on a new role with the provincial government.
We are appointing Nani Clausen as our independent commissioner for the teacher registry here in Manitoba.
Nani Clausen worked as a resource teacher before taking on the role of Education and Support Services Director at the Canadian Centre for Child Protection. As the new Commissioner of Teacher Professional Conduct, Clausen will oversee the registry of teachers whose certificates have been suspended or cancelled due to misconduct. She will also investigate complaints, refer matters where appropriate, and may even look into possible systemic issues.
There easily could be identified greater issues that are going on beyond the individual case that actually demonstrate or illustrate that there could be some system issues regarding to how people are bringing information forward, how that information coming forward is being interpreted, how that information forward is being actioned.
Clausen replaces Bobby Taillefer, who abruptly left following government concerns about her working remotely from Florida. Clausen begins her 5-year term May 18th. A Winnipeg City Councillor wants to push the other levels of government to put home ownership in reach for people who might otherwise not be able to afford it.
I think that rentals are doing quite well, and I think it's time that we start tipping the pendulum to home ownership and home equity.
St. James Councillor Sean Dobson is putting forward a motion to lobby the federal and provincial governments to create a program or programs similar to the Housing Accelerator Fund, but geared towards homes that could include removing the GST and PST on building materials, then purchasing single-story newly built homes and passing the savings on to prospective buyers. Dobson's motion also specifies buyers should be required to live in the home for at least 10 years to ensure they're not turned around immediately for a profit. The Executive Policy Committee will consider the motion next week. We'll get ready to let off the gas pedal if you travel the South Perimeter Highway. Construction is officially underway on a new interchange at the intersection of the Perimeter and Highway 3 by Oak Bluff. You can expect to see some temporary traffic control measures, construction equipment, and automated flagger assistance devices. At the moment, no major road closures or detours are planned, but you're likely to see reduced speed limits and heavy trucks in the area. The project involves a 4-lane divided highway and 2-lane undivided overpass. It's expected to wrap up by 2030. A former premier, an award-winning singer-songwriter, and a 4-time Grey Cup champion are among 12 Manitobans being inducted into the Order of Manitoba. Brian Pallister will be invested into the order at a ceremony on Thursday, July 16th at the legislature. Among others, he'll be joined by Dr. Joss Reimer, Indigenous leader Diane Rusin, and Elder Billy Shibler. Juno winner Chantel Kreviazik is also being inducted, along with former Winnipeg Blue Bomber Andrew Harris, Métis hockey player Jocelyn Larocque, and opera singer Tracy Dahl. The Order of Manitoba honors Manitobans who have demonstrated excellence and achievement enriching the social, cultural, or economic well-being of Manitoba. All right, let's bring Catherine Dow in now and get a first look at your sunny Skywatch forecast. Finally, spring has made an appearance, Catherine.
Yes, a brief one, and if you can believe it, Marilee, we have some even warmer temperatures coming later on in the week. I'll have details on that in a moment. However, a bit of an unsettling evening maybe ahead, as you can see by this disturbance. Unsettling sounds so ominous. Really what we're looking at is a slight chance of some rainfall, maybe as well some thunderstorm activity laced in there in southwestern Manitoba. And as well, much of the south could be in store for a bit of a foggy day ahead with some very strong and gusty northwesterly winds. I'll have details on that, on who could be getting a little soggy tonight and just how strong those winds will be later on the newscast. Plus, we'll turn our attention to some more unsettled weather ahead. But right now, let's enjoy the here and now. Gorgeous, sunny, 19 degrees out there. Those winds already feeling fast and furious out of the northwest at 32, gusting even stronger from there. Barometric pressure is rising, humidity at 35%.
The CTV Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution.
And our first check-in on traffic takes us to Donald Street. Bit of a lineup there heading off the bridge, but traffic moving at a decent clip. Of course, it is fairly sunny out there, so grab the shades, make sure the visor's in good working order. Otherwise, nothing visible on that stretch to slow you down.
Census deadline, why failing to fill it out could cost you a pretty penny. All the details coming up next after the break. The U.S. Customs Agency has started issuing tariff refunds. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has more.
We have the first tally of refunds for American tariffs. The U.S. Customs Agency says it's processed refunds plus interest totaling over $35 billion so far. When the U.S. Supreme Court deemed the U.S. president's tariffs illegal in February, exporters and retailers lined up to get their money back. It's estimated Walmart alone is owed over $10 billion. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73. West Texas Intermediate is up over $4 to 102.37. Western Canadian Select up over $2 to 77.82. And the TSX gained 151 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Today is Manitoba Day. It was on this date in the year 1870, Parliament passed the Manitoba Act, creating the new province. Manitoba formally entered Confederation as the 5th province on July 15th of that same year. Since then, May 12th has officially been celebrated as Manitoba Day. Today is the last day to submit your census. Well, sort of. StatsCan says today is more of a reference date than a cutoff. People who haven't filled out their forms will be reminded to do so through letters, calls, even in-person visits. If the form still isn't handed in after all of that, there could be a $500 fine. The census is sent out every 5 years. Information collected is used to make policy decisions and to decide how money is spent. The CEO of Toronto's Pearson Airport says a massive renovation project will result in fewer delays and smoother travel.
You'll often find the pilot saying, okay, we're sitting here waiting for a gate. So we're going to have expanded airfield parking aprons and aircraft positions and a high-speed taxiway that moves airplanes faster onto and off the runway.
Officials broke ground on a 10-year modernization project yesterday. Phase 1 will cost $3 billion. Other promises include fewer baggage disruptions and runway and airfield upgrades, which could help move 28,000 more passengers a day. Government officials say the project will create tens of thousands of new jobs. They're also promising there won't be extra delays during construction. A legendary rock band is journeying to Winnipeg. We've got all the details coming up after the break. Dow is back now for Spotlight, and an enduring rock band is extending its tour with a stop right here in Winnipeg.
That's right. Journey will bring its The Final Frontier tour to Canada Life Centre on September 29th. The evening will include a celebration of songs, memories, and moments from the past 5 decades. Tickets go on sale Friday, May 15th through Ticketmaster.
Comic book fans, sit up because you are in for a real treat.
Yes, Winnipeg Comic-Con is returning this fall with a celebrity in tow. Actress Famke Janssen, known for her role in the X-Men franchise and the James Bond movie, GoldenEye, is the guest of honor. Comic-Con says more celebrities will be announced in the coming months. Launched here in 2021, the event is a pop culture convention showcasing the best in sci-fi, horror, manga, toys, movies, video games, and of course, comic books. It'll also feature an exhibition hall, interactive booths, guest panels, and more. The event kicks off at RBC Convention Center on October 30th and runs through November 1st. Tickets are on sale now at comicconwinnipeg.com.
The red carpet officially has been rolled out for a very popular film festival.
Yes, this year marks the 79th Cannes Film Festival, and it marks today the start of 12 days of world premieres. The winner of the festival will be given the prestigious Palme d'Or Prize. The opening night film is the French comedy drama The Electric Kiss. There will also be a tribute tonight to Peter Jackson, the director behind the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
We are getting our first look at a brand new miniseries.
Yes, it's inspired by a Martin Scorsese classic.
Max Cady was released from prison. What does that have to do with us?
He's been locked up 17 years for a murder he didn't do.
You were his lawyer, right?
Yeah. Cape Fear will run this summer with 10 episodes. It stars Javier Bardem as an unreformed ex-convict trying to get revenge on the lawyers who once represented him. They're played by Amy Adams and Patrick Wilson. Cape Fear starts streaming June 5th. It's executive produced by Scorsese and Steven Spielberg, not bad. And the Scorsese Cape Fear film from the early 90s was in turn inspired by the 1962 film of the same name. That one starring Robert Mitchum and Gregory Peck.
Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe watch that in preparation of the new miniseries if you haven't.
It
is.
Robert De Niro gives me nightmares in that movie. Yikes.
It's good. It's good.
It's a good one.
It's worth a watch. All right, from jewelry to private letters, all of it. Marilyn Monroe's hidden world is all headed to auction.
Yes, and the memorabilia offers a rare glimpse into her private life.
The people that knowing that you can actually buy something that did, touch her skin or was written by her hand. I mean, it's not just something that's once removed in merchandise. This is something that's very intimate and personal.
Items up for sale include clothing, jewelry, handwritten notes, paintings, and poetry. Heritage Auction is hosting the sale, which happens June 1st. It coincides with what would have been the star's 100th birthday.
Wow. All right, it won't be long until a new Beatles fan experience comes to London.
Yes, Apple Corps, which is the company created by the Fab Four, just made the announcement. It's going to be a new 7th-floor fan experience. It'll open the it will be open at the building where the band's Let It Be album was recorded. There we go. And the building's rooftop was the site of the Beatles' last public performance in 1969. An opening date for the attraction has not yet been announced.
Oh, pretty cool.
No kidding. My dad will love that.
All right. Get your tickets.
Get them now.
All right. Thanks, Catherine.
No problem. And your Tuesday primetime lineup kicks off with Celebrity Jeopardy at 7. Match Game comes next at 8. Then 3 episodes of The Big Bang Theory starting at 9. It is all right here tonight on CTV.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
In store for a bit of a gusty evening, as is the case, has been the day. It's been rather blustery out there. Meanwhile, we're also tracking a little bit of instability, as you can see there in the southwest corner. Slight chance of some thunderstorm activity, maybe some light rain, about a 30% shot by Environment and Climate Change Canada's estimation. But a stronger chance over in northwestern Ontario, where you can see a good amount of rainfall and, again, maybe some thunderstorm activity likely coming your way to areas like Kenora, Dryden, Fort Francis. Not the case for us here in Winnipeg, however. While there was a chance we were going to have a bit of a stormy night, looks like we're going to stay dry, if not a little bit foggy. Details on that in a moment. We're finally dealing with some okay temperatures to the tune of 19 degrees here in Winnipeg and Portage La Prairie, 21 in Brandon, 18 in Fisher Branch. Chillier values currently in Churchill at -2 degrees, 4 in Gillam, 8 in Thompson, 15 over in the Paw. So as mentioned, that slight bit of instability, you can see that system there that's likely to affect the southwest today and over in northwestern Ontario. Swirling activity there brings the possibility of some rainfall and thunderstorm. But as the day progresses, let me move out of the way, or the evening progresses rather, we clear up pretty nicely. But we're likely to get some fog patches in southern Manitoba while the north deals with a few periods periods of cloud. Into tomorrow, lots of sunshine on the way for the majority of the province. Maybe a slight chance of some snowfall activity in Churchill as the evening or the morning, progresses. And then from there, lots of sunshine to enjoy. We're not totally out of the woods yet, though. We could have a little bit more in the way of unstable weather. You can see it brewing there in Saskatchewan. It's likely to bring some rainfall into Thursday to the southwest once again. We're likely to stay dry here in Winnipeg. However, this swirling mass here could be making it for a bit of a rainy weekend ahead. In terms of our temperatures tonight, with those clouds, with that fog, with those very strong northwesterly winds, temperatures dipping down to about 5 degrees. That fog could linger into the morning, but then lift, making the way for a lovely day ahead, 22 degrees with sunny skies, and some lighter southerly winds at 20 kilometers per hour. From there, on Thursday, mix of sun and cloud, temperatures really start to heat up on that Thursday, 24 degrees. But then we fall off a little bit of a cliff, as you can see. That sounds a little dramatic. I have a flair for the dramatic. 17 degrees on Friday, but of course it wouldn't be a May-long weekend without that sunshine and those cooler temperatures on Saturday. And then on Sunday, the clouds roll in, temperatures staying cool and dropping off even further on Monday. Your Skywatch picture of the day, this one snapped by Rosemary near Elkhorn, a gorgeous shot there of the sunset. Thanks for sending that in, Rosemary. And Tilly captured this one in Blumenort. And if you have any weather pictures to share, keep them coming to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Skywatch Weather Pick of the Day brought to you by Provivo, Winnipeg's first and only longevity medicine clinic. Redefining health, performance, and aesthetics. Provivo.com.
A group of farm kids south of the border had a solid senior prank at their high school. Check this out.
Have everything taken care of, and they did. They had, like, we'll do this, and this is how it's going to work. We'll bring them in, and they said, well, it's harmless.
And get this, their principal was on board. The kids turned the school's parking lot into a cattle lot, which, as you can imagine, was a bit of a surprise for the rest of the school. They worked with the school to make sure it was safe, and their parents even helped out. The students helped clean up afterwards, so this was a prank done responsibly.
I wonder how they felt, if it was worth it when they had the shovels out at the end of the day.
I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure the faces of surprise as people, pulled up
would make it worth
to their
it.
regular parking spot probably was pretty good. Yeah.
It's epic. Good one, folks.
Yes. All right. That does it for us this hour. Don't go farther. We're back at 6 with much more local news. Hope to see you then.